Why is everyone talking about World War III? Is it just a cliche or a real scenario? What does World War III even mean in 2025? Could it really happen again in our generation? And if so, what does that truly mean? Is the world going to blow up and we're all going with it? Stay until the end to get all the crucial answers you won't find anywhere else. What makes today different? Why is the fear of World War III stronger now than ever? Is it just the media, the social networks, or are there real reasons for concern? In recent months, searches for World War III on Google have spiked over 400%. Even in intelligence reports from NATO, the CIA, and the European Union, the term has resurged for the first time since the 1980s. This isn't hype, it's real. Let's rewind a bit, analyze what led us to today, and most importantly, what might happen in the near future. World wars don't start overnight. They begin internally with hate, suspicion, alliances that seem secure until they explode. In 1914, one bullet fired at an Austrian archduke triggered a global chain reaction. Austria declared war on Serbia. Germany joined in. Russia, Britain, France, and later the USA got pulled into the conflict. It lasted 4 brutal years. Tens of millions of young lives ended. Those who returned were broken in both body and mind. Then, only 20 years later, history repeated itself, and on a far larger scale. The Great Depression shattered banks, destroyed jobs, leaving entire nations insecure. The Treaty of Versailles, meant to prevent another war, became a ticking time bomb. It humiliated Germany and fueled a deep national resentment. Hitler rose to power by exploiting fear and desperation, offering order, pride, and strength. What followed was the genocide of millions of Jews, black people, the disabled, and those labeled undesirable. This was the darkest expression of human cruelty in the name of superiority. This time, Germany, Italy, and Japan didn't just seek territory. They sought dominance. Germany dreamed of a super-European empire. Italy aimed to revive the glory of Rome. Japan pushed to control East Asia. They didn't want land, they wanted sovereignty. Fast forward to today, and the world is once again divided. But the map has changed. Technology, nuclear weapons, religion, borders, money, and the lives of billions hang in the balance. On one side, Iran and Israel. Iran is a hardline Islamic regime. Human Rights Watch reports widespread suppression of internal dissent. Women, the LGBTQ+ community, anyone who dares oppose. They're not just pursuing nuclear weapons for defense. Their leaders openly state they seek regional influence, deterrence against the West, and a real threat to Israel and the Jewish people. Israel is a cancerous tumor that must be uprooted and eradicated. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, supreme leader of Iran. Israel perceives this as an existential threat, an ancient conflict that has spilled across borders to Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and Iraq. Tensions are high and the world watches every move. We are not just fighting for ourselves. If we don't stop the axis of evil here, it will reach Europe and everyone will pay the price. Senior Israeli security officials, meanwhile, Russia versus Ukraine. Since 2022, ruined cities, millions displaced, widespread devastation. Russia frames it as national security. Ukraine is fighting for its very independence. Despite enormous costs, death, displacement, brutal winters, relentless attacks, Ukraine has held firm, rallied global support, and preserved a fiercely inspiring national identity. And then the United States steps in. The world's undisputed superpower doesn't stand on the sidelines. It funds, arms, and backs both Israel and Ukraine, states that seem to be fighting deep existential battles. The price of freedom is high, but Americans have always paid it. John F. Kennedy. America acts with caution, fully aware that reckless intervention could spark a much larger war. Weakness is provocative. Donald Trump. Meaning, if a country appears weak, it tempts others to test its defenses, so strength becomes essential. Elsewhere, China remains silent but watchful, economically supporting Iran, politically observing Western vulnerabilities, militarily maintaining power without fighting. The EU is trying to balance, but even there, the line between peace and war is razor thin. Countless countries try to stay neutral. Some truly don't want to pick a side. Others, though, know any choice made could seal their fate. Today's world is like a high-stakes chessboard, but this time the pieces are nuclear. One wrong move, and not everyone will walk away. This fear is no longer theoretical. The term World War III appears in intelligence briefs, global security conferences, and speeches by world leaders. Just last January, the UN Secretary General warned, "Humanity is wandering like a sleepwalker, dangerously close to a nuclear abyss. So, is this really possible? History teaches us. World wars begin incrementally, via proxy conflicts, fragile alliances, broken treaties, and we've already reached that point. Global superpowers are tightly interlocked. Nuclear arsenals are expanding. Within nations, societies are fracturing, democracies weakening, fear fueling division. What makes this moment uniquely perilous is technology. A single hacker breach, an accidental command, or a misinterpreted signal can trigger uncontrollable escalation. This wouldn't just be another interstate war. It would be a battle for civilization, for perception, for truth itself. A whole generation, Gen Z, has grown up in a world where truth is fluid. Social platforms are saturated with disinformation, and the line between fact and fiction is almost gone. This won't look like the wars we know. It won't begin with explosions, it will start with whispers. Not just gunshots, but psychological warfare. Battles across fronts, on land, online, in our minds. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Albert Einstein. But it hasn't begun. There's still another path. If we blind ourselves, danger won't arrive with a bang. It will slip in silently, too late to stop. But if we awake in time, choose knowledge over fear, we might write a different chapter in history. A chapter that doesn't start with war, but with awareness. I know it sounds cliche, but I genuinely believe it. So here's the cliche that matters. Love. Spread love wherever you can. Accept the other, the different. Don't just watch with your eyes or listen with your ears. Let your heart lead. There is no backup Earth. Let's get through this, together.